A matrix can be a very powerful tool to show your data in a structured way. However, you should know how to present it well. In this video, I will show you 6 tips to improve the look of your matrix. At the end, I have got a bonus tip that allows you to create another mini report within the matrix, so keep watching. So let's start by creating a matrix. We are using the sample dataset that is available within PowerBI, so if you want, you can follow along. We start by inserting a matrix, and then we increase it to fit the size of our page. Then we start dragging fields into it. So the sales are our values. We put the year and month on the rows. Then for the columns, we use the countries. So this is the default matrix that is created. So let's expand the rows so that we can see all values for the months. Now the first thing that we can notice is that the text is too small to read, but we can easily adjust it. To make it easier for the end user to read the data within the matrix, we can increase the text size. However, in the formatting pane, there are a lot of options. To quickly increase the text size, we can type text in the search bar. Now there are still a few options. To adjust the text for the entire matrix, we adjust the text size on the grid. Let's put the text size on 14, and we can now see that the matrix is a lot easier to read. Now to minimize the distraction, another tip is to appropriately format the values within the matrix. To do this, we go to the Format tab and then Field Formatting. Now we have to specify the display units. Because most of our values are quite large, we choose millions. We can also change the number of decimals. Let's choose 1. We can see that the matrix already looks a lot cleaner. Now that we have formatted the values, we also want the headers of the values to be appropriately formatted. It is preferred to give the headers a bold text format to make them stand out. Therefore, we click on Formatting and go to Column Headers. For the font family, we choose a bold format. Now we also want the titles to be positioned in the middle. So we go to Alignment and choose the center. Now we have centered the column headers. The third tip to improve the matrix is to change the style. Within Power BI, we have the option to choose between some predefined styles. We can see this under the Formatting tab and then Style. The style that is currently selected is the default style. Now if we click on this, we have a variety of options to choose from. We can, for example, choose bold headers, which looks like this, or flashy rows. Although this can be easily customized, I would advise you to go for the minimal format. This format creates a focus on the data within the matrix rather than the format of the matrix. So we select the minimal design and we can see that it creates a very relaxing design for the matrix. Another way to improve your matrix is to turn off the stepped layout. We can do this by going to row headers. Then we can see stepped layout. Currently this is switched on. Now by clicking this button we can decide to turn it off. If we have a look at our matrix, we can see that turning off the step layout has changed the view. With the step layout turned on, the next level within the matrix, which are the quarters, are shown below the years. When we turn off the step layout, we can see the position of the quarters change to be in front of the year. So to improve the layout of the matrix, we turn the step layout off. Tip number 5 to improve your matrix is to customize your subtotals. Within this matrix we can choose to include or exclude subtotals for rows, but we can do the same for the columns. Also we can choose whether we want to have subtotals to be shown at the top or the bottom of the rows. To do this we can go to the Formatting tab and go to Subtotals. Now the first part of the subtotals focuses on the rows. Here we can turn the row subtotals on or off. When turning the row total off, we can see that in our matrix the subtotals for the years has been deleted. Now if we turn it on, we can see the subtotals coming back. We can do the same for the column subtotals. If we turn the column subtotals off, we see the right column disappear. Depending on what you would like to see, you may decide to include or exclude the subtotals for the rows or columns. Lastly, we can change the position of the subtotal for the rows to be at the top or the bottom of our matrix. Another trick to use in creating your matrix is to apply conditional formatting. Within the Conditional Formatting tab, there are multiple options to choose from. The first one is a background color. By using a background color, the user can quickly analyze the figures within the matrix. By switching on background colors, we can see the default option applied to our matrix. However, we can further customize this. This can be done by clicking Advanced Controls. We can then format this by choosing between different options such as color scale, rules, or field values. For this example, we use the color scale. Now we have to define whether we want to apply it to the values only, the values and totals, or the totals only. For this scenario, we choose the values only. Now we have to choose which field the color is based on. In this scenario, it is the sum of the sales. Then we can choose between different summarizations, and because we have the sum of the sales, we choose sum. But we could also use the minimum, the maximum, or the average, or any other summarization. For the minimum and maximum, we can choose the lowest value or a custom value. In this scenario, we choose the lowest value and the highest value from the sales ranges. We can customize the colors by clicking on the box next to it. For example, if we want a yellow color, we can do it over here. Now when we apply this to the matrix, we can spot high sales within a second. So in Canada, for example, we have a high sales amount in June, July, October and December. In France and Germany, we have a high sales amount in October. Here we can see the value of the background colors used in the conditional formatting within the matrix. Another option for conditional formatting are the data bars. The data bars show a mini bar within your matrix. We can apply it by turning on the button below data bars. To customize it, we can click on Advanced Controls. Let's say we would like to have a different color for the bar, then we can specify this over here. Now if we click OK, we can see that it has been applied to the matrix. From this we can see that the data bar adds value by showing a visual indication of the value within the matrix. The last useful option within conditional formatting that can certainly improve your matrix is the option to show icons. When clicking on icons, we can see that PowerBI already implements the icons based on a set of rules. However, we want to specify our own rules. To do this, we click on Advanced Controls. This time we format the icons based on a set of our own rules. Let's say every country has a monthly sales target of 1 million and we want to check whether this condition is met. To do this, we can create rules. So by logical reasoning, we can find that the rules are: if sales are greater than 1 million, it is a check, and if sales are below 1 million, it is a cross. Now let's put this into rules. So let's delete the rules that already exist. So if the value is greater than or equal to 1 million, which is not a percentage but a number, and less than or equal to the maximum, which is also a number and not a percentage, we want a green check. Then we add a new rule. So if the value is greater than or equal to the minimum and is less than 1 million, which is again a number, then we want a red cross. If we press OK, we can see that it has been applied to our matrix. We can now very quickly analyze which countries did not achieve their monthly targets. For example, in March 2014, in Canada, the sales target was not achieved. So these icons provide the user of the report with a visual indicator without having to interpret the numbers. Without looking at the numbers, he or she can already see whether targets are met or not. The final tip, which is the bonus tip, will give your user another piece of the puzzle for the information. So for example, we can see that May 2014 in Canada, the sales targets were not achieved. But can we get more information on this? Well, not directly from the visual, but we can add something called a tooltip to provide some more information. Currently, when we put our mouse on the value, we see nothing. We want to change this to get more information. To do this, we go to Formatting and switch on the button for a tooltip. If we now go over the values within the matrix, we will see the standard information. It shows us the year, month, country and the sales value. But we can also find this in the matrix. To create a more informative tooltip, we can create a new report page that will show up when we put our cursor on the value. To create a report page tooltip, we will need to add another tab. In this new tab, we first define the page size to be for a tooltip. Now let's make sure that we can see it clearly by going to View and fitting it to the page. To make this page a tooltip, we go to Page Information and switch Tooltip on. Now we can create the visual that we want to show as a tooltip. Within the matrix, we want to have a better understanding of how the sales is divided per segment. So we add a bar chart to the canvas. So for the values we choose the sales amount, and for the axis we choose the segments. Now we can see that the axis titles are too big to fit, so we resize it. Let's remove the title as well. Now we go back to our matrix and add the tooltip. So we click on our matrix and go to the Formatting tab and Tooltip. Now we change the page to our Tooltip 1. Now when placing our cursor on different places within our matrix, we can see the tooltip showing the sales per segments. This is how we can add a tooltip to our matrix. Now I hope that these tips will help you in creating better reports in the future. Let me know in the comments which tip you think is the most useful one. If you like this video and want to learn more about business analytics in the future, subscribe to the channel. I would like to thank you for watching.